praises be to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Kodash. And then we're going to say double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone.
Double honors.
Alright, shalom to the sincere, you know what I mean, elected to this truth of faith and sincerity. Kind man, you know, us two brothers here, you know, about to do in transit, as you can see. And you know, of course, man, it's it's really based upon this whole United States, Israel, like in Iran situation that's happening, and the global impact on the food supply chain, right? You know, of petrol, of fertilizer, of just things moving around, and we are to obviously expect you know what I mean, an increase in food prices going up, in petrol prices, which is obviously already going up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Over here, like in the UK, there's certain petrol stations that are having issues, you know? Like even now, I was telling a brother, I was on a motorway and I would see certain signs that would say certain petrol stations can't serve HGVs, you know, them big lorries.
Yep.
And then even, you know, people are obviously panic buying, and just that whole kind of impact. And this is about to get worse, because the second Ezra speaks about the beginning of famines. Like, what we're seeing now is the start of famines, and famines taking shape.
Mm-hmm.
If we look at lockdown and the amount of factories and farms that was closed down, and chemical spillages. Now, like, if we're mixing the farmers, if you want to go into that, with the farmers and the fertilizers, not being able to, I didn't post one, so you can find, you know what I mean, just the whole night. So, man, it's about to get dark, it's about to get spooky, man.
Yeah, because everything that the brother's saying, on top of that, we've got to remember that there is then no food. So there'll be less jobs.
Yeah,
right?
Less jobs.
Because what you're
factories,
yeah, but everywhere,
yeah,
right? Because if all of the input costs are going up, those businesses need to cover books, right? So then when, let's say, your cost, because there was basically one brother shared it where he had the guy that was going to the wholesalers, and basically something had, like, a couple items had basically gone up significantly in price. To be able to maintain, guess what? They're gonna end up having to be like, look, man, so I gotta let you go. You know?
Yeah, especially these factories. You know, like, because, you know, certain companies and factories are always kind of, I've seen them stable. You know, factories need it 24/7, but if it's double the cost for the factory to run, sometimes it will get to a stage it's not financially viable to keep a certain, and then you might start having people getting a severance pay, you know what I mean, and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, bro, I mean, if we got any information before we get into the scriptures.
Yeah, this is, I mean, there's several, just type in Iran and fertilizer.
Bring it out.
This one's from the AP, it's from 4 days ago. It says the war in Iran sparks a global fertilizer shortage and threatens food prices. Right, so it says Hanoi, Vietnam, right? And this is another one.
We was talking about.
Yeah. Which I didn't even know that was going to go into that place in particular, right? But one of the things that you have a load of these nations that were very reliant on tourism, as an example. Right now, if tourism ain't coming because jet fuel has increased in price, certain routes, because a lot of those kinds of destinations in Southeast Asia, right, their main kind
tourist
of
hubs,
but their main entry was via which called those Arabian airports. Right. So the which called those flights are a lot less. So you're having issues there for them with tourism, and these are people that in certain places depend heavily on tourism. So the tourists ain't coming, they're struggling, and now they got this on top, which says farmers around the world are feeling the squeeze of the Iran war. Gas prices have shot up and fertilizer supplies are waning due to Tehran's near shutdown of the Strait of Hormuz in retaliation for US and Israeli bombing. Since the fertilizer shortage is putting the livelihoods of farmers in developing countries already troubled by rising temperatures.
And bro, it's you know, I mean, it's a side point there, but you know what just proves even more so? beyond the many proofs that already exist of, you know, the scripture speaks about going into a land barren, desolate, you know what I mean, the valley of Jehoshaphat around, you know, Saudi, you know, that whole region. It makes sense, bro.
Yeah.
It makes sense because even if you look at where the kind of areas that like American the military would have to encamp or base themselves out. It's all the places that the scriptures is talking about.
That's it.
For them to have an entry point, because if they do a ground invasion, they need a supporting system to help the troops that's going to be on the ground. You know.
That's it.
So like it.
That's all good. Goes on to say, the fertilizer shortage is putting the livelihood of farmers in developing countries further at risk and could lead to people everywhere paying more for food.
Yeah. So it's like first it starts off with food prices, you know, increasing, and then food shortages, shrinkflation, where you're getting less for more.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's a whole spiral downward onto famine.
That's it.
Because these situations ain't gonna get better, bro.
That's it.
Because Iran, bro, this isn't like you know, your ship hit my ship. We've confiscated. Let's close the strait for 2 days and some shit. And then can you give us the troops back as hostage and release the prisoners? And no, they have killed us. They've killed a school of young girls, which is a sacrifice. They've attempted to destroy like Iran's leadership, killing 2 or 3 generations of its family in one day.
Yeah.
And the current leader as well has lost family. And the people are motivated more than ever.
That's it.
You know, like even if you watch them videos of Professor Jag, he was talking about it. It's like how, like, you know, you've got the big power that's basically got proud over years. He's got lazy with warfare, aka his fighter jets and war from a distance, but his actual ground game isn't on point.
Ain't on point. And this is it. It's like what we know the streams that we've done, right, where we've kind of got we looked up the some of the servicemen that died, the Americans. They look like servicemen.
Yeah, come on.
Those weren't warriors. Those weren't people about that life, as they, you know that saying, it ain't about that life. They weren't about that life, right? Which is why in our law, it was like, bro, if you're scared, don't join the war effort, right? If you're not if you're a woman, you can't join the war effort. Forbidden.
Yeah.
Right.
And then that's something we was talking about before the video. Look back at history in Vietnam, which Lord willing I'm gonna do a video on, and basically if you look at like how the scene is being set with Babylon and the anti-war mindset that exists, like if we look back at Vietnam, things got so bad where you had troops killing their own commanders because it's like the anti-war sentiment, the thought of like, well, why are we fighting? Mm-hmm. It got so loud. And think about it, that was during the time period where information was getting passed in magazine and radio. It was slow. Now you got troops with phones and shit.
That's it.
You know, like there are people on these front lines or not far off that have fucking iPhone and Instagram. That can voice their concerns or watch videos and shit.
Yeah. Which is why in the modern day, modern warfare, you've got info wars. Right? You know, but let me grab this. Let me grab this. It's Jeremiah 51:30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holds. Their might hath failed. They became as women. They have burned her dwelling places. Her bars are broken.
Yeah, and then even remember we was talking about the situation. If you want to go into it, they were stuffing their clothes
Yeah. So allegedly, one of the reasons the USS Abraham took so long to get to its destination, right? Because there was a whole thing about there was flooding, but allegedly it was because the servicemen and women were basically flushing their uniforms down into the toilets, right? Because they didn't want to fight. And that's the thing. People you be online, and Iran was always something. And maybe you could say biased, because obviously we understand it in prophecy. But Iran was always that kind of place where it was like, yeah, but Iran though, that's a bit different. Yeah. And as the world has seen, yeah, it was a bit different.
Yeah.
These are people that have, because this is some of the things that some of the commentators have spoken about. They have built all of this under sanctions, which means you're going to have a lot of homegrown technology, which means you can't just do a blockade and be like, oh no, you're not getting the raw material, because that's the position that America is in now.
Yeah.
A lot of if I just say real quick, a lot of America's high-end weaponry, right, requires certain technology that is sold by China.
Yeah.
So if China wants to do a blockade on it, guess what? America can't make no more Tomahawks.
Yeah. And let's not forget, Russia now is mightily silent because they're helping out behind the scenes.
That's it.
You know what I mean? And one thing that the Persians was doing is that they would take down these. Obviously, over the years, these little conflicts have happened. They would shoot down certain things, and reverse engineer. So they already know which way you're coming out. And even as far as, remember, you know that statement Jake say about history. You know what I mean? If you don't know where you're coming from, so then you don't know where you're going. Well, again, if we look at Vietnam, they was doing airstrikes and campaigns in certain parts of it, but even back then they had underground tunnels, and to a certain extent in some parts of their regions they was able to withstand strikes because they'll be underground and come back out of them tunnels.
That's it.
And during them tunnels that they had in Vietnam, they had an underground system to basically transport weapons and shit. So that's Vietnam, right? Think about Iran, who you've told and have said in many videos for decades that you want to invade them next, and you've got all them sanctions on them. They got underground cities, bro.
Yeah, for real.
And there's only so far that your fighter jets can do.
Yeah, and the thing is, because of the enemy, right? The small hats. You got a lot of people back in Iran right now.
Yeah.
You got a lot of people that are just like
it's splitting people.
A lot of people that's like, what was the meme from what's this from, man? What's that anti superhero TV show, man?
Invincible?
No, not the other one on Amazon. The Boys.
Okay.
You got the main Homelander.
Oh, okay.
When he does that face after he just kills someone.
Yeah.
And then basically was captioned when Iran being like, people don't mind that they're hitting Israel. I'll be like, oh, because it's true, right? Let me grab this. This is Ecclesiastes 9:11. I returned and saw under the sun that the race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong. Neither yet bread to the wise, nor yet riches to men of understanding, nor yet favor to men of skill, but time and chance happeneth to them all.
Time and chance happeneth to them all, man. And Babylon is prophesied to be destroyed. Like recently, you had one of them like American politicians. But he was chatting bullshit, but really what he said was spiritual. Remember, I'm sure you've seen the video where he was like, let's destroy these Persians like Alexander the Great, 2000 something.
Oh, I think was that Hexath that said that?
Yeah, I believe so.
Which is to Pete.
Yeah. But bro, number one, Alexander was on the right side of prophecy. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Alexander was on the right side of prophecy, and the Lord was with him to carry out his will. And just how when his eventual death came, that was according to the Lord. You know, because if you look at it, you know, there's information about, he even had some wars where ships and chariots would actually come and help him out. So that's why people thought Alexander the Great was a god.
Yeah.
Because, you know, that's the Lord, bro. Like, if he wants war, remember, the heart of the king's
heart is in the hand.
The king's heart is in the hand of the Most High.
That's it.
You know, but now Alexander ain't on the right side of prophecy.
That's it. And in fact, if I can grab this for you, right, because this is what is written. So it's the 2nd Ezra 15 and 30. Yeah. Let me read into it just a little bit. 28. It says, "Behold, an horrible vision and the appearance thereof from the east," right? Referring to what the world now calls the Middle East, right? It says, "Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia,"
Western Asia,
yeah, shall come out with many chariots, and the multitudes of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they that hear them may fear and tremble." Right? So it says, verse 30, the point, right? It says, "Also the Carmanians." Now, when you look at where General Soleimani, right, was killed, all right, it was a place called Kerman, right? Which Kerman is where is the modern day way of saying Carmania, basically, right? Showing you, basically proving to you where, you know, that where we're talking about here in the scriptures, right? Which even just on that, like, these man can just go on TV and be like, "Yeah, man, yeah, we're gonna kill this guy next. Yeah, I'm gonna kill that guy," and they can say with impunity,
"We're gonna bomb him."
You know,
you know what they say, bomb him.
Bomb him.
We're gonna bomb him in a way that they've never seen before and all that. Yeah. All right, cool.
Hey, look, remember Pistol Pete? Yeah. Pistol Pete, he put up a prayer saying, "Let every bullet find its target." No, not in those kind of words, but it was that, no, those exact words. But it was of that caliber of callousness. It's something like, let everything hit its target, basically.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we say we're gonna have the kingdom and we're the bad guys.
Bro, straight up, they're a bunch of gangsterism.
Yeah, gangsters, bro. The true meaning. Yeah. Right? So it says, "Also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild bulls."
Really, Babylon has acted as a YN, bro.
Yeah.
An unreasonable YN. Just you shut up the party, bro.
Yeah, and
then killed a nigga's sister, and now this nigga wants to retaliate, and now he's confused why he wants him dead so much.
That's it. But because you could use the example of a party, but it was like, we got certain people that were just chilling on the beach in Sri Lanka or just chilling somewhere in Vietnam or whatever. Now they can't get food because of this geezer.
Yeah. You know them ones that a dude is used to getting his burger on Tuesday.
That's it.
And now he can't get his burger on Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know? And hey, you know what's interesting as well, man? I'm happy as well, man. A lot of them, Saudi, Dubai, those areas that have the clout, that they're about to suffer.
Yeah.
Because people act like them regions ain't part of the earth. Like those regions can't get plagued.
Yeah.
You know, because for a very long time, well, really, it was a short time, really.
Yeah, really.
Dubai, in terms of being like a haven, it's only been really peak for like 10, 15 years.
Exactly. If that. Yeah, because it is just, you know, it's a place where, bro, you can't have to be built to withstand that heat. I'll just put it like that.
Yeah.
Like the people there basically live nocturnally.
Yeah.
Right. They've got a whole load of infrastructure built so that people can actually survive in that heat. Yeah. Right. So it's like at what do you call it? At like what's this word? Traffic lights for the pedestrians. They'll have pergolas and mist come down to cool people as they wait. Mm-hmm. Right. Because it is hot.
It's that hot.
It's a desert. It's a desert for a reason.
Barren and desolate.
You know?
And then it's just turned into now a fucking, you know what I mean? Especially, you know what I mean, if you're on a plane and you're seeing them regions. You're like, bro, no one's here.
Exactly.
They made a dot. You know, the Palm, Jumeirah and shit.
Yeah. Which one guy I used to work with who frequented there with work and stuff. He basically explained it, as brothers in London will understand this. He explained it as a long Westfield.
yeah.
Just Westfield on steroids.
Yeah,
right, Westfield basically being a lot, which actually, to be fair, Westfield is a conglomerate, it's a group. But basically it's just a shopping mall.
Yeah, like a big ass shopping mall.
You know. But let me finish this, right? So it says, 2 Corinthians 15 and 30, it says, also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, right? And, you know, as has been broken down, right, a lot recently, right, it's just, exactly, if it's an American base, that's equivalent of America. It's American embassy, that's an equivalent of America, man. Right, and what you've been seeing, right, is that a lot of these American bases have not just been hit, but been destroyed. You know? That's why Israel, if you look into it, Israel no longer has before the Israeli citizens would get like a long warning before missile strikes, right? But basically that warning is gone now, right? And then when people are explaining it, they're basically saying, yeah, because the anti-aircraft and radar systems were in Saudi, they were in these places, they were basically all the way towards Israel, right? So then if they've been taken out, maybe not Saudi, that's different, but it's basically because they've been taken out, Israel's no longer getting that what do you call it, that warning anymore.
Yeah, but that heads up.
That heads up, right? So citizens are basically just getting like 1 or 2 minutes to hide, whereas before they would have had a lot longer.
And then, bruv, it's beautiful what's happened to these small hats.
Yeah.
Because these small hats have lived so long, letting everyone else be uncomfortable.
That's it.
And really, man, the small hat is basically a short nigger in the club doing too much.
Yeah.
That's got a big homie. Like a big homie that's a bully. And he's a short nigga that's just, you know, he's slapping everyone's drink out of his hand. He's just acting like a dickhead. But guess what? One day, that big homie gonna get knocked out first.
Yep.
And then that big homie might get outnumbered, and you're both fucked up.
That's it.
And that's what's gonna happen.
What you're witnessing right now in the world. What you're witnessing right now in the world is a lot of the EU nations, as has been prophesied, are basically being like, nah, we ain't joining you.
Obadiah 1,
yep.
Despised Confederacy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful, man.
So it's Obadiah 1 and I'll start from 6.
Yeah. You can start from 3. Despised.
Okay, I'll start from 3. It says, the pride of thine heart, I'll start, this is from the top really. It says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom. Right? And it's beautiful because, you know, you want to reference Alexander, yeah? What was Alexander? Edom, right? So yeah, you channel the spirit of Esau then, right? Because you get people that say Esau's done away with. No, you're Esau, right? It says, thus saith the Lord power concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from Yahweh, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us.
And like if we look at it like in history, you know, you obviously had the former president of, Egypt. What's his name? Abdul Gamal Nasser. Yeah, and you know, speaking about like coming against Babylon and stuff in history. But then even us now, you know, the Lord is using us as well through this word, man, to condemn Babylon, to condemn Esau, to condemn these small hats through these scriptures, man. Like, it's all going bad, bro. You know what I mean? Because this war is very interesting seeing how it's playing out because, commentator, he was talking about, like America having the ability at first hit hard and put them under pressure and all that. But how long can you continue it?
That's it.
You know what I mean? Like the continued war escalation.
But because ultimately, what we're now seeing is simple mathematics. It's called money. This is pure money. It's like when you've got missiles that cost millions each, and they're being used to take out something that costs tens of thousands, the math ain't mathing, right? And that's what people are starting to see. They're starting to see, oh, actually, America just had an unlimited budget, right? But when now that they're against, do you know what it's like? You know, in football, you get certain teams where the league is terrible. Then they play Champions League and all of a sudden they're losing every single game. Yep. That's basically what America is. They've been playing the small boys, this, that, and the other, but now, right, they're playing someone that is a bit more up to it, and it ain't as easy anymore. And that's not to say America ain't a bad boy. America's a bad boy.
You know, it is, man. It's like Wilder. Wilder was like 39-0 or 40-0 and fighting absolute bums. Yeah. The minute he started fighting like top level competition, niggas started getting knocked out. Yep. He even got knocked out by Big Moabite, man. You remember Zhang? Yeah. Big Bang Zhang. That's a fight we had watched when the elder was down from Dallas. You know what I'm saying? But it's real like that, man. You know, Babylon, obviously, don't get me wrong, Babylon is strong with the army. They obviously have beat down many nations, but now, let the weak say I'm strong, man.
That's it.
Right, bro.
It says, an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, Esau as a nation, but then if we zoom in, you got Babylon as a nation, greatly despised, and the small hats. They're the most despised. They're so despised that they're despised by other Edomites. You know what I mean? Like, before, when these Babylonians would pretend that they're a Christian country and all that, they would have to, no, we must protect Israel. But now it's like, bro, you niggas are starting everything.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Like the scripture says, remember, like in the scriptures it says, travel not with a bold fellow. Yeah. Again, a short nigga in the club doing too much. You know, that's got remember in school, there was always a nigga that's got a big brother or a cousin.
Yeah.
Oh, if you chat shit, man, I'll call my cousin.
And then one day his cousin ends up in
jail.
He's like, yeah?
Yeah, he's like, yeah? He's like, or his cousin might come, but the other nigga's got cousins too.
That's it.
You know? So let's go band for band and the cousin for cousin.
Yeah, bro. Might not know, because that's the thing. It's like people look on the outward appearance, man. Never know, mine might be an MMA superstar.
Bro, it's happened.
You know?
The cousin's like normal height, and this nigga's cousin's of cage fighter.
That's it.
And he's coming with five of his fellow cage fighters. It's like, oh shit.
That's it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep. So it says, the pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Right. So earlier on in the chapter, we hear about who we're talking to, right? Eden, right? Yeah. And then here we hear that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, right? Now, what does that sound like? That sounds like people who live in mountains. Now, what do they call themselves? Caucasians, right? From what? From the Caucasus Mountains. Right? Cave dwellers, that's who they really are, right? They ain't smart, they ain't got high IQ, right? They've just been given power of the earth for a short season, right? Scripture refers to them as the basest of men. Okay? So it says, that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? right? And that's the pride of this Edomite, man. Which is why I always remember like thinking about that that Edomite Matt Walsh, right? Remember when he came, I was basically saying, well, you know, if you can take them down, then you just take them down. When he was saying, I was like, yeah, because the pride that is in his heart, he's like, bro, who's gonna take us down? Because you only make a statement like what Matt Walsh made if your view is no one's gonna take us down, right? But guess what? You are gonna be taken down, and we're gonna say it back to you. You're gonna be like, wait there. I thought you said
you got knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought you said that if you get taken down, right, other person has the right to take you down, right?
Yeah. Good.
Verse 4 says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh. Right? You know, because they allege that they went to, you know, the moon, right? You know, which ironically at this time they're alleging that they're going to do another flyby of the moon, right?
I mean, we know there's no damn way they went to the moon. You know what I mean? They fucking burn their ass.
That's it. Well,
but we do know they have space stations and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And really, when we look at when they said they did go to the moon, and that whole saga, which was what, the 70s?
Yeah, 1969,
1970. Obviously, when this truth was that round before then, but it's when it was really, you know, with Albert Bivens and the whole great lineage of men that came after. You know what I'm saying? But then even so, around that time, especially Babylon, culturally, man, it was through.
Yeah.
You know, because around that time, you had all these movements are popping up. You obviously had the situation in Vietnam around that time as well, where it was just, you know, it's really just like a stain on Babylon, and since then they just fell, man.
Yeah.
Culturally, because again, that Vietnam War, it really destroyed America. You know what I mean? It really just because you had veterans coming back on just drugs, and just the whole country. Remember, like when a lot of these veterans was coming back, it wasn't like they was getting a hero's welcome. People was looking at them as criminals, you know. But yeah, go on, bro.
Everything right?
Yeah, nah, cool. It's alright.
It says verse 5 of Dar 105, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night,
Nearly home anyway.
how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy, right? In fact, let's go into some of this. How are the things of Esau searched out, right? Now, and that's what you're basically seeing, right? More and more stuff about what this man has been doing, right? In you know, in the background is basically being brought to the foreground, right? Which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Right? Verse 7 says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Right? The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee.
Yeah.
They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
Yeah, man. All these nations that was in league with Babylon are going to turn against them. You know what I mean? And remember, like, it takes me back to Psalm 73. Surely down slippery places. Because at the end of the day, they don't realize that they are essentially on a slippery slope to their own destruction. Yeah, you know what? Let's get back into a couple of them articles, and then we're gonna branch off that. Because
so we had back in the AP article, right? So it says the war in Iran sparks a global fertilizer shortage and threatens food prices, right? So we was at
which obviously is going to lead to famine.
Yep. Which and we've been saying this for years now, right? Since the CV, which is the basis for a famine have basically been created. So, and this is just adding the cherry on top at this point. Because you have a lot of farmers that were through before, and then now if they're basically spending thousands, hundreds of thousands of pounds to get no yield, they go bankrupt, which is what the elites want. And that's it. Everything that is happening is what the elites think that they're trying to control, which ultimately it's the Lord that's controlling, because the Lord is the one that wants famine. Scripture says in 2nd Ezra, they that die of famine be more than they that die of the sword, roughly paraphrasing. Right, there be more of them that die of famine than they that die of the sword. Right, so back down, so the poorest farmers in the northern hemisphere rely on fertilizer imports.
I'm sure it says like they that die with the sword are better than they that die of famine.
That's a different precept, but yeah.
Okay,
you know, but it's a true saying, right? Because when you look at how your body dies with famine,
it's torture.
It's torture. Straight torture, man. You know. So it says rely on fertilizer imports from the Gulf, and the shortage comes just as planting season begins. Right, said Carl Scull, Deputy Executive Director of the World Food Programme. In the worst case, this means lower yields and crop failures next season. In the best case, higher import costs will be included in food prices next year. So basically, he's saying high food prices is the best case scenario. Right? But it's true, because it's like when you got crop failures, it's like, bro, there's no grain, there's no grain.
There's a gap, yeah, there's a gap in food supply.
You know, if there's no grain, there ain't no meat.
Yeah, exactly. And then even I'm pretty sure, like, those things eventually, like, remember during lockdown, certain, like, because food wasn't able to be moved around fast enough, they had to start cows would have to get slaughtered faster.
Yeah.
Because the numbers have to be in balance. So it's like, just suspect, you know, more culling and things will be happening, man. Yep. Go ahead.
That's it. Let's see what other articles we have here.
There's one in Australia, I believe.
Yep. So it says,
BBC
let me open it on the web.
Yeah, man.
All these apps want you to sign up.
Bro, every time you read a new article, you have to make a new app, bro. It's crazy, bro.
Yep. It says panic buying prompts PM to reassure Australians over fuel supply, right, from the BBC.
So from all different time zones are affected. You know what I mean? It ain't just here. You know what I mean? It's like especially over here in the UK, man. Like, these bacon acts have been used to a conflict just being
over there.
Over there.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, that's so sad what's happening over that side.
Now to get a McDonald's.
Yeah.
That's
exactly where it goes back to.
You know, it used to be. What was up? We were at war with Afghanistan and Iraq, but from 2003 onwards, right? Bro, those were some of the best years the UK had. Like, remember?
Yeah, I mean,
those 06s, 07s, 08s, the noughties.
Shit, man. 03 was when Craig David. Man.
Yeah, bro. You know.
Took it for a Tuesday.
You know what I'm saying?
That was my childhood, bro.
You know, to the point.
And on Thursday and Friday,
Saturday.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Jake will try to act righteous as if you don't know the lyrics. That was a banger, bro.
It was about, but the point being is, those are great years.
Yeah.
Whereas right now, because this is it, like on top of this,
Michael Owen.
Yeah. The golden squad.
Yeah, the golden.
The squad, the golden team. Generation. Sorry, the English football team. Beckham,
Rio.
You know.
Rooney. I mean, and now it's just falling, bro.
Yeah, everything's falling. Right, to the point where players are faking injuries to get off international.
Yeah, might refuse to fight.
Right, we're joking around, but it was like on a serious one. It's like during those times, it was cool.
The prime years, man.
Right, the prime years. Whereas like now, right, you got job layoffs. The job market is horrible.
Yeah.
absolutely horrible right now, right? You have in America, you've got a company, Oracle, which is a massive software vendor, right? They laid off 20 to 30,000 people this morning via email.
That's crazy.
All right, 6 a.m. Eastern time. Just imagine you set your alarm 6:30 in the morning. You're
There's
sluggish.
probably some that didn't see the email until they got to the gate.
Yeah, the car, which America they do that. You just turn up and your car don't work anymore.
Yeah.
You know, but the point is, it's just like the economic situation was already bad. Jobs were already lacking, and then now we're in a situation where this is adding on top of it, right? So this man is very much just bringing this place on. But let me read this, right? So Prime Minister Anthony Albanese has sought to reassure Australians that the country's fuel supply remains, quote, secure as prices soar and following reports of panic buying and petrol stations running dry since the start of the Iran war.
Yeah, and then remember, like when we say apostles, brothers and apostles, but it starts with the apostles, Apostle Tahar, saying we're in a time of Jacob's trouble because it's a cycle. Like, what, bro? A famine's a famine, but a famine has a stage, has cycles. Like, if we look at if we study ancient famines, you normally have a graph, a timeline of this was a trigger point for the famine later. It's like if we look at the I believe it was the Bengal famine, but basically those famines as a result of the British and the East India companies and the whole situations. Like, in the story, you'll find out this conflict, this blockade, this stopping of imports or whatever led later on to a famine.
That's it.
You know what I mean? It's like, with Egypt, the 7 years of plenty.
And
7 years, it was a drought, things happen. Yeah.
That's it. And that's why we've thus far not felt necessarily all of the stuff that Esau's been doing purposefully to break down this economy, because when you're driving on the motorway, you will see the big silver tanks, right? They call the silos, right? And those silos are for basically storage, right? So basically, it's not there are certain things, certain foodstuffs as it's referred to, that once it's quick. It's like it's there and it has to be consumed in a set period of time, right? But you'll still have certain grain stores and stuff like that, right? But the point is, Esau has been systematically destroying things for years. Especially lockdown was a big one, big part of that. And as well, remember, there's most factories have something called just in time. Yeah. So it's like a 2-3 day cycle. If I can just add to that, though, it's like that the entire world is built on just in time now. Yep. The factories, once again, all of the processes rely on a chain supply. A chain supply of this is gonna arrive on this day. Yep. Right? We're gonna get fuel deliveries on this day. We're gonna get, Yeah. And then because of that, it's a whole cycle, because once these ingredients don't come, then that baby knock-on effects
doesn't get made, and then that baby don't eat, and then it's the whole whole get up, man. Let me grab this. This is 2 Ezra 6 from 22. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. Is that from outside, bro? I don't know, but I'm about to stop now.
It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound.
The full storehouses shall be found empty. Which is what's happening with these shortages, the whole cycle. Right?
Yep. It says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid.
Yeah, man. So all of that hope of good news and prosperous times, it ain't happening, bro.
That's it.
Because obviously now, the World Cup is approaching, which even that.
That's a big question.
World Cup.
That's it, because this is it. It's like when you're looking at the situation at the moment, right? They've just where to get to America, you now have to give all your social media history.
Exactly.
Right? You know, you gonna have certain people that were a bit too fervent supporting Palestine that ain't gonna be able to go to the World Cup.
And to be honest, man, that's the perfect ingredient for a false flag.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Like, why not have a false flag?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. If you're American, you're like, why not?
And just blame it on someone else.
Yeah. Which a lot of people are now waking up to America and, all of these quote events.
Yep.
It's why certain of that witchcraft just isn't working anymore.
It not work.
Yep. It goes on to say, right, it says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid. Right? Because people think they're scared now.
Yeah.
People think they're scared now. The Lord is about to show them what fear actually is.
Yeah. It's like even in like even in Egypt, you obviously had darkness, but the bottom line of the darkness, obviously so dark that it could be felt. But if we was to just give a word of what was going on, people was in a constant state of being perplexity or being perplexed. So we can akin that darkness now, just in a mental standpoint of like a constant state of confusion.
There was a crime for one in the streets.
Yeah, exactly, like people not knowing what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
People doubting themselves. Yeah. Rolling blackouts, the whole nine.
And it's one of them ones where you know certain people, they won't say it. They don't say it, but certain people, there's like, they're worried, man.
That's it.
A lot of people. Well, that's why, as always, we've got to be grateful for this thing of ours, because we, the Lord has given us that comfort, that stability, right? Knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of our times. Strength of salvation. Because for us, we're like, oh shit, is that what's happening?
That's it. It's beautiful.
Whereas other people, they're worried. They're thinking about their plans, their hopes and dreams.
Yeah, which is why the scripture tells us to lift up, our heads.
Yeah.
All right. So hey, with that, we're just doing something quick. So with that, man, we're gonna say all praises be to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua, Ba'Shem, Kakodash. The honors to the apostles of the fathers, the great most talented next time.